Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the object selection tool to do the object selection sampler. So the first thing you're going to do is grab a new piece of paper, file new. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with a print size piece of paper for this. All right, now just a heads up, object selection is kind of a render intensive tool. So if you have other documents open that you care about that are special, save them now, okay, just in case it crashes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and grab an image just from Google Images because this is just a sampler. And I'm going to go ahead and grab something to cut out. I'm going to get a giraffe. Great, it's already there. And I'm going to go to Images. All right, everybody look up here because this is really important. When you're using object selection, the computer is doing the work for you, okay? Make it easy for the computer. So this image, for instance here, this giraffe image, is not going to be easy for the computer to select. Let me open it up so it's a little bit bigger for you. There's a tree kind of like in front of it. There's not a ton of contrast between the giraffe and the setting. So this would not be a great candidate. Okay, there's just a lot going on. Same thing, you want to find something nice and high res. Okay, this would work great because there's a lot of contrast between the giraffe and the background. Just know, like, you know, also when I do cut it out, the giraffe has no body, right? So if you're using it on the side of your paper, great. But if it's going to go in the middle of your paper, maybe choose something else, okay? So same thing with this one. There's like some trees in there that might be a little tricky. So this one looks like it'll be pretty easy to do. So let's go ahead and grab this, right click, and I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to paste it in Photoshop, Control V is paste. And then I'm going to grab my object selection because the object selection is going to do the work for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are some other selection tools saved with this. This is where you would find the Magic Wand and Quick Selection tool. For a long time, those were the only tools that were available to select. Object selection, I feel like that came out maybe like in the last 2 years. So it's pretty great. So when I click object selection, the computer is going to do some thinking, and I'm like hovering over, and it's kind of broken my picture up into some different areas. So I could select that, this. So the pink is telling me what it's selecting. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Another thing you can do is if nothing's really populating or coming up, you can also hit this select subject, and Photoshop will try to guess what your subject is. Okay, back to recording. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, again, with my object selection, I'm going to hover over. I'll try this method. Just clicking, and it's going to wait for it. There we go. It has selected. So there's like little dancing ants around my giraffe. I know it's selected. So I'm going to hit copy, Control C, and then it's really important you make a new layer because right now if I paste onto this layer, I'm just pasting the same thing, right? So I need to say new layer, Control V is paste. All right, there it is. I have now a new layer. Okay, so I'm going to Control T. I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to put this over to the side. And then enter. I'm going to take my giraffe and I'm going to make a few copies of it because I want you to see that once you cut something out, if you can reuse it, that's awesome. Right? It can make your life easier. You don't have to need to keep cutting stuff out again, okay? Okay, so Control J to duplicate. If you want to duplicate this layer, you're going to hit Control J. Oh, my computer's going a little bit slow. Control J. And then Control T transform. And now I have a second giraffe. Hooray, I can shrink him down. Love it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab something else for my object selection to do. So I'm going to just cut out a flower. You can try and make a cool artwork if you want with these cutouts. I just want to quickly Google stuff so that way this video is not super long. Right-click, copy. Okay, I'm going to paste it in. Control V is paste. I'm going to get my object selection tool. So some other ways to use this tool, they also have a lasso. Okay, or you can use a rectangle and try and draw a box around, hey, I want this flower here. Can you help me out, Photoshop? So I've chosen the rectangular selection. Okay, it's thinking. Oh no, it didn't get it. Did it? Oh, it did. All right, so there we go. My dancing ants are around my flower, so I'm gonna hit copy, Control C, make a new layer. I'm gonna deselect, Control D. Oh, Control D, deselect. All right, and now I'm going to paste. Control V is paste. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. It didn't quite work. That's okay. I'm going to go back to this layer. I'm going to draw my box around and say, hey, I want to select this flower. And your computer should handle this much better than mine. Mine's a little bit laggy because it's an old laptop. Copy, go to my new layer, and paste. All right, and there it is. I can see. It looks like it picked up some other things in the selection. We will learn later how to touch these up. We're not going to worry about that for now, though. All right, there we go. Well, I guess you guys already know how to use the eraser, so you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and use the eraser on this one. Eraser, E is my eraser. I've got a weird tool up. Let me just go ahead and grab that. Oop, there we go. So I did have to do a little bit of touch up with this one, but not too much. Control J to duplicate, Control T to transform. Control J to duplicate, Control T to transform. Control J, Control T. Great, I've got some nice copies here on some different layers. Hooray. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and grab another thing. I'm gonna maybe do one more for the video. You guys are gonna do 5. So again, make sure you're not just cutting out a stock image. Like there's not really, you know, you're not really testing the tool when you do a stock image with a white background. Okay, so do something where you're actually cutting it out of a photograph. Copy image and paste it in. Control V is paste. I'm gonna grab my selection. Let's see if I can just click. Will it be able to figure it out? Let's see. If not, I will draw my box. Oh, it selected the whole picture. I don't want that. Control D is deselect. I don't want that. I'm gonna draw a box, a rectangle around what I do want to select. And then let's see if it can figure it out. Oh, it did. So I'm gonna hit copy. Then I'm going to make a new layer. I'm gonna paste it on. And then I'm going to Control T. All right, so there it is. Control T. I'm gonna Control T this one, shrink my reference image down. Okay, and then I'm gonna duplicate my palm, Control J, Control T. Maybe I'm gonna right click, flip one of these so it's not the same direction. Control J, Control T. There we go, so on and so forth. Okay, so you guys are gonna try this with 5 different images. 5 different images. I'm gonna stop at 3 for the video because I think we get the point, okay? Maybe I'll do one more, but I just don't wanna make this video too long and have my computer crash. I'm gonna stop it now. Okay, hopefully this worked.